Hello there, and welcome again to another episode of Weekly Cooking with Becky. Today, I'm going to do a review. This particular recipe, it's from My Keto Plate, and I will have a link in the description. It claims to be the world's best keto brownie. Not only does it claim to be the world's best keto brownie, it claims to be the world's best brownie. It says that it even surpasses all other regular brownie mixes and that to give it to anyone and they'll never know. So I'm always up for the challenge. I have some amazing brownie links on here. I will tell you my cheesecake brownie back when I first started is one of my all-time favorites. The one I did about a month ago, which has the peanut butter chocolate brownies. Oh my goodness, those are great. I'm gonna definitely put those links in there. My 2-ingredient brownies with the Lily's chocolate chips and the eggs are super fudgy. You don't have to worry about people with nut allergies, coconut, the whole thing, because there's no flour in them. So I'm definitely gonna post those 3 links because out of all of my brownie recipes, those are my top 3. But could this be my favorite? It says it's going to be. So let's find out. So what I have is I've got three bowls assembled right now. In this bowl right here is all of my dry. I have 1/2 cup of almond flour. You can also use 2 tablespoons of coconut flour if you don't like almond flour. I have 1/4 cup of cocoa or cacao powder, depending on however you say it. I have 3/4 cup of powdered sweetener. Let me tell you why 3/4. It says anywhere from 3/4 to 1 cup. They're gonna ask for a dark chocolate bar, a 3.5 ounce bar that you buy in a store. If you buy a totally unsweetened dark chocolate, 95% to the baker's unsweetened, you need the full cup. If you do the 75%, you only need 3/4 of a cup, and I'm at 72% because that's what was on sale. So I'm only doing 3/4. I'm doing the lower amount, but taste as you go. So 3/4 to a cup. It depends on how much of the dark chocolate percentage. Closer to 70%, 3/4. Please do not use Hershey's Special Dark. It's got a ton of sugar in it. You need to be at 70% or higher. 70% starts the 3/4 cup count. All right, there we go with that. A teaspoon of espresso powder. I just buy once a year a box of the single espresso packets. They're like 10 for $1, and I keep them in my cabinet. And whenever I make something chocolatey, I cut it open and I pour it in because it's automatically at that measurement, and it does not change the flavor, but it does bring out the chocolate. So it's poured in. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. That is all in here and mixed up. In this bowl, which we're gonna get going, that is my entire bar, 3.5 ounces of dark chocolate melted with 10 tablespoons of butter. Make sure it's unsalted butter. And a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then in another bowl, I don't want to lift it and make it spill, is 3 eggs room temperature already whisked. Let's get combining. Meanwhile, I should also say, I have the oven at 375 and a 9x9 parchment lined. If you don't have parchment paper, grease thoroughly. So once you have melted 30-second increment, softened butter and the chocolate. So first I soften the butter. Once you have melted it and added in your vanilla, now I'm just giving the vanilla a swirl because I didn't do that. We are now going to add in the eggs. Now you can beat the eggs or you can use one of these. They're called an egg frother. And that's what I'm going to use. That's how I whisked it in here, because they don't want you to overmix the brownie recipe in the next step. So this thing is amazing. It's so fast and I don't have to dirty another dish. I've done cake mixes with them too. Okay. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Isn't Isn't that just like so cool? And you just push it down and it just kind of goes. All right, so next up, we're just gonna start adding these in. Let me put a little bit in and mix some. I just wanna be careful not to over mix. Super, super easy. I might even switch to a fork at some point just to make sure I don't over mix. I will say it smells good, for sure. Let me scrape some of those sides in. I don't mind doing that to it. Okay, a few more little pumps, but I really am trying not to overmix because I read that. Now, it says that you can add in some semi-sweet chocolate chips or put it on top. I'm just going for the traditional brownie. That's the way it's advertised on here. And then maybe if we really think it's that good, then maybe next time I'll do that. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there because I don't want to overmix. Cut this guy off. Look how fast that came together, guys. Little tap, tap, tappy. By the way, if you ever buy one of these, they're dishwasher safe too. So handy. Give it a quick little turn in here just to make sure I did get every little nook and cranny. All right, here we go. Nine by 9 pan. The thing that excites me the most is each brownie is 1 net carb. I am gonna refigure these out. That's for 16 brownies. That's 4 by 4. And yeah, I could do that, but I'm gonna also, in the description below, I will reconfigure the nutrition facts just for anybody who wants to know. For 9 brownies, if you decide to do 3 by 3, it can stay on a counter for 3 days, which is kind of why I want to do the 3 by 3. It can stay in the fridge for up to a week. When you want a brownie, just take it out and it says heat it up for 15 seconds and it's good as new, or you can freeze them individually. And it just says spread out with a spatula. So that's all I'm doing now, trying to make sure it's nice and even. Bake 18 to 20 minutes. Okay. So it says bake 18 to 20 minutes, and it has very specific instructions. This is where I gotta make sure I do not mess up. 18 to 20 minutes or until a crispy thin layer forms around the edges and the middle is moist. So I'm gonna have to settle for a moist middle. So crispy thin layer forms and the middle is moist. Let it cool for just a few minutes. You can enjoy them warm, cut into squares and enjoy. So here we go. I'm gonna go for the lower time. In fact, it says 18, I'm gonna put 16. Every oven is different and I've never made it. And I definitely don't wanna overdo these. So I'm gonna check at 16 for that crispy layer. It may take me 18, but we'll be back when we're done and I will give you my honest opinion if they are truly the world's best. All right, see you when they're done. All right, you gotta admit, they look pretty good. So, I just have one here. It is still warm, which is totally the way I like it. All right, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, so that is really good. I'm not gonna lie, that is really good. Very fudgy, very moist, very dense. If you like, I don't know if you can kind of tell that they're not thick. They're on the thinner side. Am I gonna say it's the world's best? No. No, I'm not. I've had some fudgier, pretty da bomb brownies. Let me just say it like that. So am I going to say it's the world's best brownie? No. Am I going to say it's the world's best keto brownie? Maybe because it doesn't have the cheesecake or the peanut butter. I do like the 2-ingredient one that I have posted. This one comes pretty close. I got to tell you, because I'm kind of in there. I'm kind of in there. For a homemade, and that's what I'm going with, is I'm going for that homemade. The 2-ingredient with just the eggs and the lily is fudgy, and this is fudgy. They're both really fudgy. I definitely think it's good. I'm definitely gonna make it again. I think that if I add chocolate chips to it, I will definitely have a more melty inside, which is now why I see where they say feel free to add in add-ins. I just wanted to have the brownie experience. I think if I would have gone ahead and added some chocolate chips just to have that melty chocolate throughout and those chunks as you bite through, then I would put that definitely at the top of my plain chocolates. So I will say this is one of the best videos of a brownie that I have done. And my other 3 favorites will be linked in the description. Is it the world's best? I don't know. You choose. I don't think it's the world's best, but I definitely think it will be a favorite to many of you. I hope that's a good answer. It will be a favorite to many of you. And yes, I do agree. Keto, low carb, traditional, however you eat, all-purpose, sugary people, they're not going to know. They do have that part right. They're not going to know. So yes, this is a great, great brownie. Yes, I think you should make it and have fun with some mix-ins. I'm already sitting here thinking about adding in some chocolate chips and putting on some frosting next time. I'm already thinking about what might be good. So take that, throw in some chocolate chips and maybe put on some icing. Anyways, this is good. I'm gonna finish eating it. I did do the measurements. I went ahead and cut them up for 16. So that way our family can decide if they want 1.5, which over time would be our 9, or if they want a smaller portion. And then in which case I'll throw some in the freezer at the last minute if I have to. So I went with the 16 for the 1 net carb each, but I do have the measurements made out and it's 1.8 net carbs if you go with 9 brownies. Still not bad. All right, so until next time, go get yourself some chocolate and enjoy. Bye.